Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hanging in there.
I see Mary's on here and Alma. I think it's Alma. Michaela's on here for 15 minutes. There's Alma. Tim, Teresa, Cynthia. Good morning, everybody. How is everybody today? Hi, Hope. Oh, Tyler, I'm sorry.
I don't know Tyler. Have you talked to him much?
Just met this week.
Okay. Hi,
Yeah,
Tyler.
I think Tyler's up in Canada too.
Okay. And
A
he
lot.
is last day in sunny California.
Yes, Teresa flies back home tomorrow after her MVD.
How long has it been now? 2 weeks?
I think 2 weeks, yeah.
I'm in Alberta, Tyler. That probably don't let that scare you away. I promise I'm not one of the bad ones. We have a bad reputation.
Oh, oh.
Yeah.
So there's another friend for you.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we're starting a Canada team.
I know. I'm just the lone US person now.
We'll take you. We'll accept you.
Good. Glad. The honorary team member. So how are you feeling this morning?
Um, I've been doing better pain-wise this week. My meds are hitting me a little bit right now, but I'm doing okay. What about you?
I'm doing all right. I have been flaring all week.
Yes.
This week has been really bad. I've never wanted to go to the emergency room, but this week I wanted to.
Yeah.
Um, so that's where I'm at this week. So I'm exhausted. Pain is a little bit better this morning, and I'm finding ways to manage it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's rough this week.
You look beautiful though.
Well, thank you. As do you. So one of the things we wanted to talk about today is working with TN.
Mm-hmm.
Surviving winter with TN, brain fog and fatigue, and tips on how to save energy.
Yes. Are we gonna go over as well like things we wish we would have known?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
that's a big one too. We have a lot of new TN members and people that have not officially been diagnosed yet.
Okay. Yep.
And I know I talked about last week that I didn't find the support groups for 2 years after I got diagnosed. So um, they've been a huge help to my TN journey,
Mm-hmm.
and they've helped me guide along, what to do and what not to do. I think it is important for everybody to know that although we have the same diagnosis, everybody has a different journey.
Yes.
Kenzie has different symptoms than I do. Her pain is different than mine. Maybe we're both on a 9, but maybe that 9 feels different to her than to me. It feels different to you out there. So just remember that just because Kenzie and I are talking about what works for us, it may not work for you. And you have to find something that's going to work best for you. And that means doctors, medications, friends, support groups. There are so many different options out there, and Kenzie and I are great resources to help you find what works best for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you said it perfectly.
Yes. So, what do you want to start with?
Oh gosh. Um, let's go with working first.
Okay.
Curious to see everyone's response with that one because I obviously got this as a kid and I like almost immediately went on disability. Like I haven't really had a career. So I'm very interested to hear like how you guys manage that.
Okay, yeah, that's great. So I know I read your blog this week and you talked about how you missed out on minimum wage jobs. How, you know, thinking back to my first minimum wage job, I worked at Sonic Drive-In.
Yeah.
And, just thinking about the experiences I had there and that you missed out on those things. And it kind of is sad, even though, I don't want to remember.
No one wants to remember minimum wage jobs.
Yeah, nobody wants to remember them, but they do shape you. I'm a paralegal.
Yeah.
I work from home now, but it's taken me a long time to get here. I think it's super important to find a supportive workplace.
Yeah.
And find coworkers and bosses and people that are really going to understand what you're going through. I have not been super transparent about my trigeminal neuralgia until last year. And once I became transparent with that, I quickly realized what I needed for my workplace. I need to be able to control the environment, fluorescent lighting, cold air, things, things like that really bother me over time. And so, I need to be able to control my environment.
Yeah.
Talking to people, just side conversations at the water cooler, those types of things drain my energy. And so,
oh, I just lost sound there for a second. You're back.
oh, okay. Can you hear now?
Yeah. I'm wondering, like, with COVID, has anyone found it's been better with like the working from home? Like, I don't know, for you, has that been a thing?
Yeah, so that kind of COVID introduced working from home to me.
Yeah.
And once I got a taste of that, I was like, oh my gosh, I can be so much more successful. My environment, and I can go grab my heating pad and put it on my face in the middle of the day without having to explain to my coworkers what I'm doing or why I'm doing it, or going to take a 10-minute break just to lay down in a dark room.
Yeah.
Those types of things, not having to explain it to somebody else, is just so nice.
Yeah. Like when I initially like left school, that first year, and I went to distance learning at home, and I just found like I really flourished in that environment at home where I could control my surroundings. Like I didn't have to be in the hallway and every time someone passed me the breeze would set me off, or the fluorescent lights. Like I could be in my own environment controlling it. I was getting more work done than ever. Like it just it's insane, and those accommodations should be available for people.
Totally. And I think obviously having a doctor on board, my doctor was super on board, my neuro, with writing up my FMLA forms and, writing down specifically what I need. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Don't be afraid to work my words are jumbled already. Don't be afraid to leave a work situation that isn't benefiting you. You truly have to I found that in my prior work situation, it was making my pain worse because I wasn't able to get the support that I needed.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to heal properly on my downtime. And that's huge when you're suffering.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that brings me to like one of my points of like something I wish I would have known before I got sick was like you don't have to make other people feel comfortable. You don't have to hide that you're not feeling good because in the end this is your body, it's your time. it's your energy. And I'm someone that likes to help other people and kind of overextend myself in doing that. But that was actually harming myself and harming the relationships around me. So taking care of yourself and doing what you need to do is actually extremely beneficial.
I completely agree with you. To answer Cynthia's question, yes, I do have TN too. I have no compression on my MRI right now. Um, I completely agree with you. One of the things I wish I knew from the beginning is to listen to your body,
Mm-hmm.
communicate what you need from the beginning, communicate how bad your pain is to the people around you. They don't realize it. And for me, I just snap at people. And then they're like, what is going on? And you're like, well, I'm in so much pain, but they have no idea because you're holding it in. You can't, maybe you're not in a position to communicate it verbally.
Well, and I think we do go into like that flight, fight, or freeze. Like that, we can like not logically think through things when our body is in that much stress and we need to somehow be able to bring ourselves back down. But that is not an easy task. And so it is so much easier to just be like, bah!
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. And trying to figure out in your head what you need while you're in that pain is is just in the moment impossible, it feels like. Another thing I wish I knew from the beginning is don't be afraid to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Especially in the beginning when I went to the neurosurgeon and the neurologist, I was overwhelmed and I didn't really know what to ask. And so I started writing down my questions in between, and then I would bring my notebook with me
Mm-hmm.
and started to bring my husband with me.
Yes.
Obviously, with COVID, it's a little bit different now. He can come on my telehealth appointments, obviously.
Yeah.
Having him there and having someone who doesn't have TN tell the doctor, no, she really can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, she's not functioning.
Yeah.
She's downplaying what she's saying right now. You need to help her.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I always have someone with me with these appointments. Not only just to have that like backup, but also because when you're on all these meds and you're overwhelmed, you might not retain everything. And having someone else to kind of remember things for you and take notes for you takes a lot of weight off of your shoulders.
Totally. And then you can actually focus on, hey, this is what I'm feeling. These are my symptoms. And I don't have to remember all that. Like you said, I have somebody else there that can help me remember. That goes brain fog and the fatigue.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of leads like one of my ones was you don't have to stick with a doctor just because that's who you were referred to, and that it's okay to get a second opinion if you're feeling like something is off. Because if you're treating this medically, your care ultimately comes back to your relationship with your doctor. And if that's not a trusting relationship, then it's not really worth your time.
Exactly. You have to feel comfortable. You have to want to be there. You have to want to be vulnerable and transparent with this person because that's who's going to be treating you.
Mm, yeah, yeah.
What else do you wish you knew when you first got diagnosed? I know you were so young. Can you remind everybody how young you were?
So I had been having like really bad migraines and odd facial pains since I was about 12, but the really severe TN started when I was 15. Um, the first one I wrote down for tips was the mental health stuff. Like, take care of your mental health. This is a physical problem, but like it is so much easier to cope with this physical problem when you treat your whole self. Another one that kind of plays into that was like, it's okay to not be okay. um, like, you have to take the time to sit with those feelings of loss and grief, and like, I am angry that this is my life now. It has never helped me to suppress those feelings, and has almost always been harmful in the long term. Um, so I don't know, just feel that, be with it for a second, even if it's uncomfortable, and take care of that. If you need to go to therapy, go to therapy. Like if you need to go on anxiety medication because you are so scared of the next pain, you are so scared of the next time you have to go to the hospital, that's okay. Like you just have to do whatever is best for you. You have to treat your pain, treat your anxiety, do what you can.
I think that's a huge and really big piece of advice from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler mentioned that as a male, he feels embarrassed talking about his pain
Mm-hmm.
and his pain. And, you know, going back to the first 2 years that I kind of hid my diagnosis from people, I felt embarrassed. I didn't want people to know that I was going through this amount of pain. I
Mm-hmm.
judge me or think of me differently, think of me any less. Um, I wasn't accepting that my life is different now. And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, it's okay to have limitations,
Yeah.
and your life is just different now. It's not bad, it's
Yeah.
just different.
Yeah.
You are adjusting to your physical condition, and you have to take care of yourself from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I know you struggled with mental health. I struggled with mental health really badly last year, most recently. And, you know, feeling alone and not having, you know, I had my husband there with me, but he didn't have anybody to talk to.
Yeah.
I had nobody to talk to. We just have each other, and we don't know how to help each other. So
Yeah.
you
And then
have,
anger comes out.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm mad that this is my life. I'm sure he's mad that he can't help me or do anything to make it better. You know, you just have to, like you said, sit in those feelings, embrace what it is. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have a community here.
Yeah.
You have all these people here. I had a super bad flare day on Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
and I had you, Kenzie, you know that. I had Mary, I had Teresa, I had Laura, I had Alma. I had all these different warriors reaching out to me, and it felt so good to
Yeah.
go through the worst flare of my life so far and have other people to tell me it's okay. Just go lay down,
Yeah.
watch Shrek, hang out. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, that was actually one of my points, was like lean on this community, because
Yes.
they know, they're the only people that fully understand this and know. And I wish we could start like a group for our support people,
Yes.
because I know like my partner and your husband, like they need people too, because this is a lot for everyone.
They do. Michael and I were talking about it last night, and I was saying, I can't wait for John and you to meet so that you can talk about having a partner with TN, and you
Yeah.
can complain about it, and you can talk about all the silly little things that, you know, it's different than him talking to his friend and hearing them complain about their wife PMSing, or this
No,
is not PMS.
it's not.
This is a crazy person.
It literally is. I know. Okay. Um, about disability. Have you, like, I'm not like, I know you took like a FMLA. How does that relate to like disability and stuff? I'm not totally sure.
Sure. So, my former employer requested me to get FMLA restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted my doctor to put in writing what my restrictions were so that he could see if he was able to accommodate my restrictions.
Yeah.
Um, so once she put my restrictions in writing, he was unable to accommodate. And at that point, you know, I had to find a different job.
Yeah.
So I have not gone through the process of disability. I feel like I'm at a position where I can work from home at the moment,
Yeah.
you know, and just taking that day by day. I am not afraid to go on disability. If it comes down to it one day, that's, you know, we'll cross that road.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I have been on disability since 2017, I believe. Um, so it's a hard process.
Yeah.
Uh, I think everyone knows that. I had to get like a mental health evaluation. I had to get physical health evaluation. I had like two different neurologists. I had my family doctor. I had like it was so much just to fill out all this paperwork, and thank goodness my mom is a social worker to
Oh,
help navigate all of this, because I don't know that we would have gotten it had we not kind of like known how to fill out that paperwork. Um, but it has been a lifesaver. Like I would have never been able to move out had I not, because I can't work. Like I can't. Um, and I had this like before my surgery too, and so I'm going to the hospital every single week. I can barely move. I can barely eat. Um, yeah, it's just a lifesaver, and it's allowed me to have a life of my own. But it's a very, very difficult process, and there's a lot of restrictions that I think people don't realize. Restrictions on how many like assets you can have, like
oh
what
wow.
what your car is worth, what your house is worth, whether you're able to get married or not. Like if I got married to John, I would lose some of my money because he would make too much for us
Wow.
to join. So it's a whole thing, but it's a lifesaver, but it's very bittersweet.
Yeah, it's Michael and I were talking about this last night that every part of TN, and people that don't have TN don't realize this, but every single part, like you're saying, just being on disability is a spider web of, okay, well, now you can't get married. Or
Hmm.
not that you can't get married, but
But
it weighs all these different decisions. TN affects every single aspect of your life. People don't realize it.
yeah,
Should we go back through here?
yeah, I think there was something about Botox.
I have not tried Botox.
I tried Botox, I think in 2018. Um, for me, it helped more with migraines.
Oh, okay.
It did for my TN. Um, I found that the process of getting Botox set off a flare that was not worth it for me, not worth like the relief that I got. I am curious about trying it again.
Yeah, I'm curious about trying it.
Yeah, and I know for like a lot of people, especially for people with atypical pain, it tends to be a really, really good option.
Oh, maybe I should look into that more.
Hmm.
All right, let's see what else. Yes, so going out on FMLA leave and then being terminated from both of your jobs because you can't return to work, denied for disability 3 times. It's like Kenzie said, it's such a hard process. It's not easy working and going through this process, going through FMLA. It's all an emotional process. And another thing that people just don't realize. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I'm sorry that you're not having supportive employers in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Just if I can give any advice, it's just keep trying. I know it is exhausting when you already have such limited energy, but keep trying because almost everyone gets denied the first time or two. Um, but yeah, it is worth it in the end if you need to hire a lawyer. Like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, or a social worker. Just do what you have to do.
Yeah, it's worth it for your quality of life.
Hmm. Um, I know Sid just said, how did I access Botox? For me, it was something my neurologist office offered. Um, and so I went there and a neurologist actually administered it.
Oh, okay.
But I know other people have just gotten it through like I don't know, like dermatologist office. I know one lady that did it through her ophthalmologist. I like it's
Wow.
just you pick it up as I don't know about in the US, but in Canada you actually pick up the Botox as a prescription. The neurologist out a prescription and then you bring it to the appointment where they would administer it.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. I'll look into Botox with my neurologist and hopefully I'll have some more info in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. I would be interested to hear how it works for you.
Yes, I am willing to try anything at this point.
um,
So a couple of neuros did it for them.
yeah.
Um, Keys was asking, it's so hard to pinpoint TN pain because of overlapping diagnoses. Is it this or is it that? I know a lot of us have multiple diagnoses and we have a lot of other things going on.
Mm-hmm.
I have Raynaud's syndrome. I have endometriosis. I have herpes zoster. I have psoriasis. Um, so there's, you know, like I said, everyone's symptoms are going to be different because of all the different things that we're dealing with. So just keep that in mind and make sure that you're really working with your care team to find the best solutions for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, and hopefully the doctor is able to clarify it a little bit. I know, like, especially with there's so many different trigeminal nerve disorders.
Yeah.
Like there is so much going on, and then you can have like occipital neuralgia and geniculate and glossopharyngeal, and it's just like it never ends. But like, and neurologists don't always know about this, but hopefully, if you get a good neurologist, they can clarify for you a little bit.
Yes, exactly. Um, I want to talk about surviving winter.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm sitting here with a blanket on my lap. So part of mine is I have Raynaud's syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
So my hands and my feet get really cold, and then my whole body gets cold, which can trigger my TN pain because then I'm just tense and my nerves are tight. And so I have to try to keep myself warm. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I posted a picture this morning on stories of my huge blanket scarf and
I
my and that's how I look basically as soon as the temp drops below 65 degrees and it's windy.
Yeah, like I live in Canada. We have bad winters. I also live at the base of the mountains, so it is extremely windy here, like horribly windy. Um, and so for me, I have like a huge hooded jacket, and then I have like someone knitted me, my grandma knitted me some like little hoods to go underneath that like cover the face, and then I also have really like thick scarves, and I can send some pictures to you of like what those look like, um, and yeah, go from there. But for me, I just try to spend as much time as I can inside, which is a little bit depressing at times, but that's that's how you have to survive it. And I know for a lot of people, like the barometric pressure changes, I get that they suck. um but yeah, just it's difficult. If you have to go somewhere, bundle the heck up.
Yes, totally. I know I've been talking to Michaela this week. There was a wind warning that she was
Mm,
worried about. I know you spoke to her too. Um, and we were just talking about always being prepared, even if the wind doesn't come, even just having something. And then yesterday I was out on a walk with Michael, and I didn't have anything for the wind, and it just hit me.
Mm-hmm.
And the long-term effects of the wind for me last a couple days. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, you know, today I should probably stay inside now.
Yeah.
We have a big storm coming in this weekend, so I'm going to be really conscious about, what I wear going outside and making sure my left side is covered and making sure I'm keeping warm after too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it doesn't hurt to have things in, in your house, at the office, like always have a set of protection in the places you need to go.
Yes, that is so important. Keep a scarf in your car, in your purse, in your whatever. I know guys don't have purses, but whatever you use. Okay, let's go back up here. Masks give me really big attacks. I found it looks like you and I have the same mask from FPA,
Mm-hmm.
the Trigeminal Neuralgia Awareness Mask, and it's nicer because it's bigger.
Yep.
And so it doesn't pull on my nerve as much. So I really like that one, and I can send you guys the link if anyone wants that. Just send me a DM.
Yeah, like those ones for me, they're basically the only ones I wear.
Yeah,
They are lighter, they don't rub as much. I just find like the fabric doesn't scratch. It is just that it's the best one I have found that sets my pain off the least.
agreed. Okay, so air pressure change from flying. Um, I love to travel, and I am learning that this is now being adjusted with my TN. Um, so my husband and I did a short 2-hour flight to Las Vegas. We're in Portland, Oregon, this summer in July, and I ate a couple edibles before the flight. I was prepared. Once we got up in the air, it was awful for me.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's going to be different for everybody. Some people may have no pain when they're flying. For me, it was absolutely horrible. I was in excruciating pain, and there was nothing I could do during the flight to subside my pain. So I had to wait until we landed, and then we were able to go get some cannabis, and I was able to smoke and relieve my pain. What about for you? Do you fly much?
I haven't flown in the 8 years that I have had this. I know I have read up on it because I have wanted to travel, but yeah, I've read that some people do fine with it and others have a horrific time. So again, yeah, I think it just depends on the person. And I know you said, and Cynthia is saying, like pre-medicating is
Yes.
probably the best way to go.
Yes, totally. Let's go back up here. Yeah, my nerve meds don't touch this pain either for me. Like I said, I have TN2. I've tried 4 different anticonvulsants, and they just don't take the pain away for me. Um, I found this week that a combination of tramadol and Tylenol is working for me. So that's what's working this week. So we'll see.
Yeah, I've had really mixed reactions to medication. Nothing has ever helped enough.
Yeah.
Like, um, it takes the edge off, and I'm learning right now that my meds were doing more than I thought they were because I tried to lower the dose and I'm having a miserable time. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, like I have typical TN, so these meds are aimed more at that. Um, and unfortunately, there isn't as good of options for atypical. Um, but yeah, let's hope in the next couple years we'll have better med options.
Yeah.
I know that there is one currently being worked on in the UK that is like the first med specifically for trigeminal neuralgia,
Oh,
and
wow. I didn't
no,
know.
Yeah. So hopefully that will actually help all of us.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I also know um like we talked about like the cocktails last week. Um and having like a backup medication. So a lot of people double up. So for me, I'm on trileptal, but I'm also on baclofen, and that combination is what's working for me. The trileptal alone didn't do much. The baclofen alone didn't do much, but together they do work. Or like with atypical pain, you might be on Tegretol, but you might also be on gabapentin, and that could work for you. So it's just really playing around with it and trying to find more balance.
And I think, again, working with your neuro, when I first started taking the anticonvulsants, I wasn't taking them properly.
Mm.
I was just taking them as needed and
Oh,
every single day at the right dosage. And so make sure that you're taking it properly. I also had my primary before I saw a neuro. Bless her heart, she was just trying to help and um, prescribed me gabapentin and different things, but that's not her specialty. And so
yeah.
she didn't know the proper dosage and how to, the different combinations and things like that. So make sure you ask the right questions and, you know, like Kenzie's saying, find the right combination that works for you.
Yeah, and like not only that, but the different times. Like I know for me, I was taking obviously like once in the morning, once at night. The thing that made the difference for me was we started doing an afternoon dose. So I had full day coverage. And like that made all the difference. You can play around with it so much. It is extremely hard to find that balance and play around with that, but there are lots of options.
Exactly. Don't give up. There is something that's going to help you.
Hmm.
Oh, so taking a THC pill I got from Colorado and passed out on the flight. It was pain free. The return flight embarking was horrible. Keys is talking about the anxiety with travel, and TN is so real. She'd rather get kicked in the face. My husband and I were just talking about how, we used to fly all the time, and that's just going to have to change now. And we're just going to have to do more road trips and more localized trips. And, you know, that's okay.
Yep.
It's a new adventure. I know somebody asked if we have had MVD. I have not had MVD.
I've had two. My first one didn't go great, but that was an issue. I had a CSF leak and then I grew adhesions, but my second one has given me some relief. So again, it's different for every single person.
Exactly. Some people are pain free for numerous years after MVD. Some people have different experiences. Everybody's journey is different.
Hmm.
Do you care to eat some food because of flare ups? Yes.
Yes, we were just talking about this. Yeah, I don't have like a really big problem with like sour or spicy, anything like that. That doesn't bother me as much as like the physical chewing.
Oh, yeah.
So, I actually like having like ice drinks. I find that like numbs my mouth nicely. I know that's horrible for other people. But like chewing is really, really horrible for me.
Yes. Chewing is really bad for me too. Cold is horrible for me. So I like my hot teas. I like a hot shower just on my face. Um, Soups, perfect season to make soups now. Oh,
Mm.
mashed bananas. That's a great idea. Teresa told me this week to puree my soup, which was a great idea.
Yeah, I think some of my go-tos are smoothies for sure because I think you can change those up so much. Soups, rice, scrambled eggs. I'm trying to think of other just like not super toasted toast. Yeah, and like you can really cut up anything into super small bites as long as it's not too chewy.
Exactly.
Um,
Let's see.
I think Alma asked about hearing loss. I don't know if that's super common, but I know for people that have had MVDs, that is a risk going in because they are going in right behind the ear. Um, I know for me, I do feel like I have a little bit of hearing loss from my MVDs, but it's not anything substantial.
That's good to know. Sometimes I feel like when I'm in a flare, I feel like everything's inflamed, so it's harder for me to hear.
Yes.
I don't know if Alma's talking about permanent hearing loss or just during a
Yeah.
flare. Hopefully our answers help her.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about like when your body is in stress and
Yes.
you really cannot like take information in and you're blocking everything out. That is like a real thing.
Yes, totally. I saw Alma's mom is in surgery too, so sending love and to her.
Yes.
Do you find alcohol is a trigger for you?
So I stopped drinking with my medication. Yeah, I don't really drink. What about you?
I don't really drink either. I don't think it's a trigger,
Mm.
but I know for others it is. Sometimes it feels like everything's a trigger to me.
I feel that.
Okay, Alma was talking about permanent.
The
So,
super sensitive hearing, I I find that I get overstimulated very easily when I'm in pain. Like your body is in shock, so you literally cannot take any more stimuli in. So whether it's like bright lights or really loud sounds, it is like 100% louder or 100% brighter. And I have to literally like go in a dark room and sit in silence because I cannot handle anything else.
yes, me too. Supergirl is asking, when you say you have a flare, what do you mean? I have it every single day. So I'm in pain every single day as well. I haven't had a pain-free day in probably close to 15 months now. Um, when I say I'm having a flare, and again, I feel like it's different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
When I say I'm having a flare, it's that extra stimuli that you're talking about. I can't handle lights, I can't handle noise, I can't handle my normal pain, right? So my normal pain, I can, you know, I have more patience and I can eat more and I can do, you know, my normal stuff. But when I'm in a flare like I am this week, I'm even more irritable. I'm in more pain. So I'm having to do the tramadol and the Tylenol this week that I typically don't do.
Yeah.
Um, I'm doing Epsom salt baths. I'm doing heating pad. It's just it's at a level where I feel like I need to go to the ER. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I would say very similar for me. Like, I have everyday pain. That's my baseline. When I have a flare, it's above my baseline pain. It is more frequent. It lasts longer. It's more intense. Like for me, normally, like I'll have a pain or two an hour. When I'm in a flare, I'm having like 5 to 10 pains per hour, maybe more than that. They are more intense. They are lasting longer. I want to go to the hospital. I am having to take my as needed medication more. So it's just like above your normal baseline, basically. For that's how I would explain it.
Exactly. Intolerable.
Yes.
I sent Kenzie a picture earlier this week. My face was super swollen on Tuesday as well, and I don't think you can see it anymore, but it looked like my eye was going to pop out of my head.
Um,
I don't have fibro.
don't have fibro either. I don't know that I know many people with both.
Um, if you don't know, Kenzie is a support group leader in numerous groups. So she has a lot of resources, and she's been a support group leader for many years. So she has a lot of good resources if you want to talk to her more about
Hmm.
things.
I can probably find you someone that has fibro.
Exactly.
Uh,
Yes, it's red and swollen too. I don't know if it looks red right now. I'm in pain, obviously, but
hmm.
um, what tips do you have on how to save energy?
Oh gosh. I'm big on scheduling rest. Like that is my go-to where you're just like if you know you have a big day, schedule some time before and schedule some time after. And if you can, like take 10 minutes for yourself during that day to just like lay down, have like take a second. I'm trying to think what else I do. Definitely pre-medicating. That's a huge one.
Yes.
Um, yeah, like if you when I leave the house, I always try to come up with an exit plan. Uh,
Yes.
that's another thing that I do. Typically, like if I'm going to a friend's house, I will pre-warn them and be like, "Hey, can you have a space for me where if I need to go take more medication or I need to take a break for 10 minutes, then at least I have that quiet space."
Exactly. I love that.
What about you?
I also schedule my time. I like to take at least 20 minutes a day to myself to journal and meditate and do yoga. And the way that I put that is our brains are constantly in pain, and
Mm-hmm.
you have to be able to give your brain a break from the pain to just do nothing and reset.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like you said, scheduling things. If we Everything is scheduled now down to grocery store trips.
Yep.
So if we're doing the grocery store and then we know we can do maybe two more errands and then I'm done for the day. I got to go home and I got to rest the next day.
Yeah.
So planning ahead, planning before, I think you and I talked about we're both not good at the planning before.
Yes.
So I want to work on that. Okay, I have an event tomorrow, so I need to rest today, not just after. I need to rest before and see if that helps.
Yeah.
It looks like a few people have fibro on here.
That's awesome. Definitely connect with yourselves.
Yes. Dental appointments.
Oh, dental appointments. I know for me, I always call ahead. I always remind them like to put that at the top of my file. Like it's on my file, but I'm like, can you please like flag that? And then I always let them know that I will need to be frozen, even if it is just a cleaning. I always have them freeze my right side.
That's good to know.
Mhm.
My dentist is well aware of my TN. I just go in for cleanings now. If I'm in a flare up, if I'm not feeling the cleaning, I will call the day before and reschedule it.
Mhm.
I don't push myself for them. I know that they're going to hurt during and after. They're important for me to do it though, because I don't want to go in and get a cavity filled or a root canal or anything like that. I would rather just deal with the cleaning.
Yeah, and I think it's important, especially if you're struggling to brush your teeth a lot. Like
Exactly.
I that there has been weeks where I cannot brush my teeth, and that sucks, but it is so important to maintain your dental health.
Yeah,
Even like I have to power through this cleaning. I know I got my crowns done. These two are crowns. While I had TN, and that was miserable. But I think dentists are especially understanding when it comes to TN.
yeah,
So if anyone's gonna understand, it's gonna be dentists, and they're usually like, I don't think I've had a bad experience yet at the dentist. They've been very accommodating.
agreed. Curious to know how supportive your family is or understanding. My husband has a super hard time grasping why I can't function most days.
Mm,
Um, I think I want to talk more about this next week, but I'll touch on it quickly. We just have 10 more minutes. Um, my husband and I had a really hard time grasping this in the beginning. It was really hard on our marriage. It was hard for both of us to grasp what it was and what we need to do to support me. Um, it takes time and it takes patience. Um, that's why Kenzie and I want to start a support group for the support group.
yeah. No, I back that up entirely. It takes time, and it's not pretty. And there's going to be arguments, there's going to be miscommunication, but I think, and I don't know, Jessica, if you can back this up, but like, it has made my relationship also so much stronger in the end. It has been absolutely worth it. I don't know if that's the case for everyone, but it takes time and it takes patience, and yeah, if you can work through it, it is worth it.
I completely agree. My husband and I have never been in a better place in our relationship that we are today. He is 150% the biggest support I have. Now he's the person telling me, you can't do that. You no, you need to rest. No,
Yeah.
you go on that walk. Hey, let me cut your food for you when you were talking about slicing everything super. That's Michael. He doesn't care if it embarrasses him or embarrasses me or takes an extra 10 minutes out of his time. He doesn't care if he sacrifices a workout or watching TV. He's there for me no matter what. So
Yeah.
don't give up. Like Kenzie said, it's worth it. It's just going to take time, and you have to learn to communicate really, really, really.
Oh boy. But we can go in next week, because
Yes.
there are family members and there are friends where it's not going to work out.
100%.
That's just what it is. And sometimes relationships don't work out. And we will go into that more next week, because that
Yeah.
is a real thing.
I'm going to write this down for next week. Um, Supportive family.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for bringing that up. I'm not sure what your first name is, Beautifully Remastered, but I'll DM you after. Cynthia was talking about when she's above her baseline, it's hard to meditate. I'm
Mm-hmm.
a girl. On Tuesday, when I was in my flare up, Mary teaches meditation, and she just taught me a simple technique. Breathe in, 1, 2, breathe out, 1, 2. Just try that. I know it sounds super simple, but I can't focus either on a super long guided meditation when I'm above my baseline. So just trying something super simple so you can just focus your breathing.
Yeah. And I would say, even like, you don't have to do the exact definition of meditation. If
Yes,
it works for you is going to a quiet, dark room, putting in some music, getting your head level with your heart, just taking a second for yourself, that's great.
totally. Just put on some spa music. I've been
Yeah.
to the healing frequencies on YouTube.
I haven't heard of naltrexone.
I haven't either.
There might be another name for it, but I'll look into that and maybe get back to you.
Okay, cool. Oh, Alma's husband said he will join the support group for the support group. So
Amazing.
we might have to get the three of them together to get something going.
Yeah.
I know it would just be cool for them to talk and just maybe laugh about the different things that they experience with us.
The panger.
The picture, yes. Uh, I can't, my brain is so bad this week, but maybe last night or the night before I was talking to my dog and Michael turned around and he was like, "What did you say?" And he thought I was talking to him. And I go, "I wasn't talking to you."
Yeah, I was like, when we were talking about panger, the one story that really came to mind was like I was really like grumpy and really snippy, and I like shut down and I won't talk. John was trying to be like sit down, I'll give you a hug, this is great. I like threw my hands up in the air. He stopped his cooking. I walked over there, I turned it back on, and I start cooking for him, and he's like, "What is happening?" And I was like, I am a monster. Literally 5 minutes later, I was like, what is wrong with me?
I'm so sorry.
But yeah, it happens to the best of us. And I think it would be so funny to share some of those stories.
Yes, I love that. Okay, so we'll work on that. It looks like Beautifully Remastered is all for the support group too. So sorry, Michael and John, we just volunteered you for a support group. So you're gonna have to figure that out.
We'll hook them up. They can start something.
Exactly. Anything anybody wants to touch on next week? We have 4 more minutes. We wanted to invite guest speakers if they want to come on the live with us. If you have a topic that you want to talk about or ask us a question, feel free to shoot us a DM.
Yeah, definitely. We like just talk about a topic you want to talk about, any key points you want to hit, and we'd love to cover it and have other people give their perspective.
Oh, I love these tips from Alma. She's also a doula. She is a multi-business owner. She's a super mom over there. So she was talking about humming helps or tapping, anything that's consistent, like music playing. When she's in pain, playing relaxing music, warm or cold water works at the moment. Yes, Bianca wants to talk about facial paralysis. I can't even say it right now, and coping methods. So I'll put that on the list for next week.
And if anyone else is dealing with facial paralysis, that's not my specialty. And I think for Jessica, you also don't really experience that. But if someone is dealing with facial paralysis and is going through therapy, reach out to Bianca. That would be,
Yeah,
you guys connect with each other. This is
that's
what we're for.
not just for me and Kenzie, it's for all of us to connect to each other. Okay, so I have 2 minutes remaining.
I think Supergirl. So we're gonna do this live every Thursday, hopefully.
Yes.
I think it's 8:45 PST.
Yes. So again, DM us, reach out to us. If you're having a bad flare day, reach out to us. Don't go through it alone anymore. You have somebody here. You're not alone anymore. We're here to help you. We're here to help you laugh and find the joy in this painful life.
Yeah. All right. You want to wrap it up?
Thank you for taking your time and energy today.
You too. It was great to see everyone, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yes, we will see you all next week. Hang in there and take care of yourselves. Bye, guys.